I'm gonna play 100 days of Minecraft, but it's Realism Craft. For those who don't know, Realism Craft is a dynamic world that I can use in Minecraft Bedrock Edition. And I am going to attempt to do 100 days in it. But if you don't have enough time to watch this entire video, right here is a timestamp on when I'm going to do a cinematic shot of the world. My name's HKP, let's get down to day 0. Starting up on day 0, I ended up spawning straight into the water and accidentally threw this little thing that I would be able to use later. And so I had to make my way onto the land. Once I make it to land, I take down a palm tree. I would then make the essential tools that I would need to be able to get this world started. I would then find a brown bear because in this world there are more variants of animals. I would then find blue wart fungus growing. Confused, I go over to it. And to my surprise, it's actually a ruined portal. It had some decent stuff in it, not gonna lie. I then collected some coal. Then before I knew it, it was dark and then I almost got blown up. I also found a cherry blossom biome. On the way to find shelter, I find what looks like a mine shaft, and let's just say I almost died going down it. I made a bed while I was down there so I can go ahead and end the day. Waking up, I quickly started gathering the iron that's around there so I can get the diamonds. I was able to get 3 diamonds on my second night of the game. I then left the mine area, but then found a giant watchtower. Curious as usual, I went and investigated. Looking around on the inside, there really was not much to be offered to me. But then I tried to go upstairs, then I noticed there was a spawner, and then I just backtracked. But near that tower, there was actually a village that I decided to look around in. I didn't stay long because there was really nothing there for me. I then found another mine shaft and decided to go down it again. I found more iron while I was down there. And more surprisingly, I found TNT while I was down there. That was the real surprise to me. I would then leave the mine and go over to what looks like a circus. But as I'm there, I also decided to take a nap. Everything was going good, but then I got scared by a creeper. What the fuck? I would then decide just to go on with my day. I would then just kill any animal I saw for a bit just to gather food. I then found a beautiful looking birch forest that I would actually wish that birch forests looked like this. And not so far from the birch forest, there was a spruce forest that had a spruce village in it. I may have stolen some stuff, but hey, this is Minecraft. Nobody has morals. As I'm a good bit away from the village, I stumble across what looks like a ruined castle. There was even a well that looks like there was some stuff that was probably down there. I then had an idea. What if I make this into my base? And I'm thinking, yeah, I could probably make this into like a temporary base, so I'm gonna just clear it out for a minute. I then decided to place my bed down and claim this place as my temporary base. I did not mean for that to rhyme. I would then start clearing out some trees that are growing inside of here, just so I would be able to have more room for stuff. It started getting dark, so I then went to sleep. Once the day started, I started building up the walls and trying to repair the place. Mainly for the fact that if there's no defense for me, mobs are just going to come and kill me right away. I built up the area a bit, but then I was so wondering what was down here. So I decided to go down, and there was a chest and a skull. And there was a good amount of food, aka apples, in here, and a name tag that would really be nice. But then I gotta remember how to get out. I just decided to build up with planks, but once I got up to the top, I was thinking, wow, that actually looks like it's an abandoned place now. But it wouldn't take too long for me to get back to doing what I was doing, which was destroying everything. I then went back to wandering around, trying to find a good place so I could make like a cobblestone hole so I didn't get to my area. But then I ended up finding a pillager outpost. And I decided I'm going to just stay away from that. And while I'm trying to get away from the pillager outpost, I find another ruined portal. But this one looks more like the original ones. Then I had the idea. If I take the lava from here, I can make a cobblestone generator. So I checked the chest, took all the iron nuggets from it, and some of the obsidian. I went back to my base, made a bucket, and collected the water so I can soon get started on the generator. I would then go to sleep so I wouldn't have to deal with monsters while building it. I then walked out of my base and was looking around thinking this spot right here would be probably the best spot. Not that far, not that close, thinking it was perfect. And just like that, I can now get infinite cobblestone. And now with this new cobblestone, I started building up the walls around the base. For the next couple of days, I would actually be working on my base. I kept getting attacked by a lot of mobs, especially skeletons, which is why I have to always keep going to sleep. On day 7, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna start running low on food, so I should probably make a farm. I'm making a simple, basic little farm for it. I don't need anything really fancy. My shift went from building up the base to just making this farm. I decided to go back to the spruce forest because I needed spruce wood, and I need that for my base. I also stopped by the village to steal their carrots. It became night while I was out, so I had to hurry back. On day 8, I finally decided to do what I was going to use spruce wood for, and that was make this area right here into like a nice walking area. I then moved on to building up this little area. I decided to plant more crops because I needed food because this wheat ain't just gonna cut it, so I decided to plant the carrots I have. And with that, we just made it down to day 10. There's still 90 days to go. Oh my god, this is going to take forever. So basically, the rest of this is just building for a little bit. This whole day was just building. I'm going to skip right to day 11. And on day 11, I went on a mining trip for the first time. I was able to find some diamonds. I took a chance to collect some gravel. Also collected some redstone, which will play importantly later. I also kept running into creepers all the fucking time. I even found an amethyst geode, so I took a chance to collect some amethyst. Apparently, I ended up in the mine for so long that another day had passed, but I also found more diamonds on that day. On day 13, I saw a rainbow. I then started building a pathway to make this place look a lot nicer, but the day would then come to an end. Day 14, I would just literally spend it entirely collecting wood. Day 15 through 16 was, I literally just went AFK the entire 2 days. On day 17, though, I actually started working hard at building a bridge. I'll tell you now, day 19 was just a filler day, honestly. I really didn't do shit. It was like an episode of One Piece. But on day 20, I was collecting cobblestone, and then I thought about it. Wait a second. I can make this so much better than it is. I ended up coming all the way back to the ruined portal just to collect some more lava to try to upgrade the cobblestone generator. The ideal I have is that with the pistons, I'll be able to stop lava flow and stop water flow. But the thing is, I'm not that good when it comes down to redstone. And so far, this is all I had done on day 20. Most of it was actually just spent collecting the resources. On day 21, a creeper ended up coming into my base and blowing up part of the base. And there went so much work I had done to this build. But it was a nice and quick and easy little patch up. I also had to patch up a hole that happened near the cobblestone generator, which would have been bad if it blew up. Upon day 22, I started working more and more on the cobblestone generator because I was determined to get this to work as I wanted it to. And the irony of all this is that I'm using the old cobblestone generator to help me build the new cobblestone generator. I also almost get burned to death, which would have been a bad experience. I had eventually got the lava part done, so then I started working on the water part, which was going to be a little bit more of a trick. The thing is, at this time, I don't have sticky pistons, which means I can't have these blocks just sit there and then the blocks get pulled back. So I have to find a new way to do this. But sadly, the day had to come to an end. The next day, I worked twice as hard trying to get this thing fixed and got pretty close to it, but there was just some few problems with it. I went back to the ruined portal to collect some obsidian because I want to make the portal back at my base. But before anything, I still need to get this fucking thing fixed. But sadly, the day ended. The next day, I finally figured out how to fix it, and I was actually able to get it fixed. Because what I do right here is that I would pull the lever, the water comes down, and I pull the lever back here, which releases the lava. And when it goes to the water, it should make cobblestone. And just like that, I have a 3 times as fast cobblestone generator. And then I just got back to working on building up the place. On day 25, I decided to add some hoppers so I can be easier to collect stuff. On day 26, I just gotta continue building up stuff. I'm coming real close to actually finishing up. And just like that, I would end up finishing building up the walls and the structure of the entire base. Okay, I seem to have lied because I forgot that I put like a doorway here. I also extended out my farm a bit more to be able to get more food. On day 27, I would actually go back down into the well, but because I want to make an easy access entryway. I started digging a long tunnel to get a feel of how far out this is going to be, and I'm just hoping that it would not be that hard of a challenge. You bastard. I put a water bucket down in the well, so now I can easily get up and down. I also went back to the portal to get a magma block. And now I have a bubble elevator that will take me down. On the next day, I would put more torches around my base because monsters kept spawning around my area and I was not able to sleep. I also finally decided to build another portal. I may have made it too big, but I really couldn't care. I started running low on materials, so I decided that I need to go and get some more. So I decided to go on a mining trip. Once I was out looking for a mine, I came across the pillager outpost again, and I thought about going for it, but decided not to. I did eventually find some iron, which was kind of what I needed mostly. It was the next day when I left the mine, but then I went straight into another one because I still need more stuff. While I was exploring the cave, I was actually able to find a monster spawner. There really wasn't much to offer in the chest though. And while I went further and further down into the mine, I would find another monster spawner. This time it would have some good loot like an enchantment book. I was even able to get 2 music discs. And at one point I was very deep in the mine, but then I realized that another day had passed. But I was lucky enough to find some more diamonds. And then some more. And more. And somehow even more. But as I'm trying to escape, I'm kind of stuck in water. And I ended up drowning to death. Meaning that this was my first death in 30 days. But this isn't a hardcore challenge. This is just me playing 100 days. I had ended up running all the way back to where I died. And if you're wondering how do I know where I died, I honestly just went back and looked at the footage. Because if you notice at the top corner over there, I have my coordinates on. And I ended up finding my stuff by finding it on the surface. At least my armor set is. And then when I dig down, I realized I was just so close to the top. I decided since I'm already out, I might as well just go and explore. Because I hadn't done that in a good bit. I struggled to get down in this mine, so I decided just to not go for it and just to leave. While exploring, I found another giant ruined castle. One that, if I tried to rebuild, would take me way too long. I found a chest that didn't have much in it. There was also monster spawners around the place. But the chest that was near that one had some good stuff. I ended up going back to my base because it got dark. The next day, I decided to start making a pathway to my portal because I figured it would make it look a lot better. On the next day, I decided to make a new set of armor and go into the nether for the first time. It's crazy, this is the 33rd day and I haven't even been to the nether. And quickly enough, it was a shit spawn. And right after I got almost burnt alive, I decided just to go back into the overworld because this was just not good. So I just made the pathway even better. On the next day, I decided to get some fences to go trap some sheep with. I was able to get some sheep over, and these things are pretty big looking. To me, they kind of look like that Pokemon Mareep. I think that's the right one I'm thinking of. On the next day, I went and got even more sheep. At this point, I also decided to make a sugarcane farm because I want to be able to make paper. And the reason why I want paper so I can get a map from a cartographer so I can go find the trial chambers. Lord, I could not get those words out. I decided to go and collect a bunch of wood so I can make some more beds. And the reason why I'm making more beds is because I'm going to go to the nether and try to get netherite. But that took up like the entirety of the day. I'm going to just play all the explosions. But I accidentally messed up on this one. Yeah, I don't even know how I did that. Sadly, though, most of my stuff did get burnt, but I'm just lucky that my diamond pick didn't get destroyed because I was able to find some netherite. And I'm gonna be honest, I have never gotten a netherite armor set before. Yeah, I got no excuse for it. I just never get it. I realized I also had some name tags left over, so I decided to give my dog a brand new name. And yes, I did get a dog. I don't think I showed that, but the doggy's name is Dingle. Yes, I could not think of anything else. I went to get some more cobblestone from the cobblestone generator because I'm gonna continue working on that little cave part that I haven't worked on in a good bit. A creeper almost blew it up though. On the next day, I decided I need more beds so I can get more netherite, so I decided to start shearing the sheep I got. Then on the next day, yes, that's all I did last day, but on the next day, I decided to start working on the underground part. Like, actually work underneath it. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Oh my lord, and the next day. Okay, I'm starting to run out of ways to say the next day. Okay, finally, so on this day, though, I decided to go to the pillager outpost to try and get some stuff, because I have not raided it yet. I ended up getting an ominous bottle, so now I can do ominous trials. I honestly don't know what's up with my luck when it comes to these chests, because I really don't get a lot of good things. I ran all the way back to my base to get my flint and steel, but it started raining, so I decided just to wait till the next day. And if it wasn't clear what I was about to do, I'm about to go burn that bitch. While I was waiting for it to get dark, I decided to start fishing because I need more food, and I also need enchantment books. So I figured this would have been the perfect time to do it. So the next day I made it back to the pillager outpost and decided that I was about to start setting this bitch on fire. Though I don't know how this happened, but I got cornered up at the top by fire and by the pillagers. I was able to run away and kind of messed up a bucket clutch, but it kind of worked and kind of didn't. On the next day, I decided to take a trip to the Spruce Village. My plan was to get a cartographer so I can get a map that will lead me to the tricky trials, the trial chambers. I still don't know how to perfectly say that, but whatever. I'm probably about to get made fun of that in the comments, but whatever. Though it did start getting dark out, so I had to stay the night at the village. At this point, we are now in day 50. We are halfway done. And what I'm doing, I'm just bone mealing sugarcane. Well, at least I can bone meal sugarcane. Thank you, Bedrock. Also, I started collecting sand to make glass for the first time. And the reason why I'm making sand is so I can trade it. On the next day, I went back to the village to start trading in the glass. And to my luck, he does have a Trial Explorer map. So now I just need to get some emeralds and a compass. So I actually lost a lot of my recording, but basically to sum up what you all missed is that I got the map and I went to go look for the trial chamber. But the trial chamber's location showed that it was in the ocean. So I had to find a little air pocket and had to dig down into the ocean. And I ended up just finding a regular cave. I was down there for so long that another day had passed. But eventually, I did find the trial chamber. It took me way too freaking long, but I found it. And right off the bat, I started getting jumped by bogs and the fucking breeze. Literally, I was getting shot from everywhere. After fighting off all the mobs, I was finally able to get the trial key. So then I went to go and open up the vault. Whoops, I left one. Alright, and the items I get are arrows and an axe. I would then start to move down even further down into the trial chamber because there is still so much in this trial chamber. Right away, I would find more trial spawners. Crazy enough, it's more fucking spiders. Also, apparently, I learned something new is that there is items that you can find in the vases. So I'm just going to give y'all a quick little time lapse of what happened during this time. So basically, I was just looking around, searching for stuff. Then I went to go find a trial spawner so I can get another key. I got another key, and I went to find another vault. So I was honestly hoping for a lot more better stuff this time, but honestly, all I got was something even worse than last time. I then found a slime spawner, and this one was kind of crazy because there was just so many slimes just popping up in the area. I was also able to find a sleeping area, which had me confused, but I feel like I would need that later. I honestly just used it to save my spawn point. I found another trial room and drank the ominous potion because now I got an ominous trial. I think that's what that's called. Like I said, there is a lot of weird effects that get put on you. I got a little too close to dying, so I decided to bury myself underground. And after I healed up a bit, I went for the attack again. I also learned that the breeze can't take arrow damage. I also got almost close to death again and decided to barricade myself this time. I was also able to get another trial key, but my inventory was full. And what I got from this trial vault is emeralds, arrows, and fucking honey again. And then I found an ominous vault. I used the key, and I probably got some of the best items I've ever gotten in Minecraft, apart from the arrows. Over time, I found another ominous vault, and this time, this one did not have any good stuff, and I did have another key that I got while I was trying to find my way out. I couldn't find the original entrance hole I made, so I decided to start digging up instead. I know it's against the rules to dig straight up or dig straight down, but screw it. Eventually, I made my way back up and then made my way back home. As soon as I got back, I decided just to dump all my stuff I got into the chest. I then tried to build an enclosed area on my little bed area, but that did not look good. After looking at it, I decided just to tear it down. Though I also did decide to move my stuff around just to make it look a little neater. Honestly, at this point in the game, I really kind of ran out of ideas on some stuff to do. I mean, I've gone to the trial chamber, I've been to the nether, and I've even traded villages. Well, with villagers. But the only thing I haven't really done, per se, is gone to the end. And I know for a fact I won't be able to make it to the end by the end of this. But I then had the idea to make an enchantment room in my underground area. So I started construction of that. So after a couple days of just building the underground area, I decided to have a fun little idea. And that is that I am going to build a wall around my base. Just because it's like a castle and castles need walls. So it was kind of an idea to think about, like, just to make it look better. I actually got this done within 2 days. That is probably the quickest thing I've done on this whole world. Just gotta place these 2 stairs right here, and then it is done. Something I realized just now is that Dingle has been sitting outside the entire time, and I was thinking, you know what, I should make him a house. I did the little trapdoor thing first, but it just did not look right. Though I put the doghouse thing on hold, made some bookshelves, and then finally placed down the enchantment table in the underground area. Though I think I may have made the area a little too big, so I'm gonna have to decorate that over time. On day 63, it was really just a filler day, so I skipped right to day 64. And on day 64, I had the idea that I want to get a horse. So I needed to make a stable. So I have another world I played on, and I'm going to make almost an exact copy of the stable that I made in that world. I got straight to building right away. So I made a bunch of lanterns while in the middle of building the stable, and I was going to put them around my base because for the past few days I've been trying to sleep in this game. Mobs keep spawning around my base, and I was just getting tired of it, so I was like, you know, I'm just going to put some lights down and stop them. But then I had the idea to use lanterns because I thought it'd be better than just to use torches. But a creeper blew up my front entrance, so that was kind of a pissed off moment for me. But it wouldn't take me long to get back to working on the actual stable again. I started running really low on cobblestone that I actually decided to start using the cobblestone generator again, which was the first time I was able to use it for something in like a long time. But I finally got the roof done. And now I was on the hunt to find a horse while also collecting food. Well, we are on day 69 now, and I was unable to find a horse. But I decided to go back to that village that I visited a long time ago that had the giant like castle pillar place because I avoided that last time and I never got the chance to actually go in because I had such horrible gear at the time. So I walk in through the door and find a chest right away, but I'm pretty sure I searched that chest last time. Going on upstairs, there was actually a spawner bringing in a lot of mobs. Either that or it's just dark and the spawner was just bringing in spiders. I really did not pay attention. But in all honesty, there was really nothing there to loot for. Then for some reason, I decided to try to go back to the pillager outpost for no reason, but on my way there, I was able to find a horse. And I was finally able to tame it. And with that, I finally got myself a horse in my stable. But now that I got a new horse, I had to give it a specific name. And that name was Glue. If you get the joke, you are awesome. I spent a good bit at the cobblestone generator just collecting more cobblestone because I don't know what else to make, but I do know one thing, and that I'm going to need cobblestone for. I actually decided to use the cobblestone to try to upgrade the roof in my underground area. I would spend the next day continuing the roof. I also decided to take a trip to the nether because I gathered all my beds because I want to try to get as much netherite as I can before I no longer play on this world anymore. I had to keep sniping gas though. I kept trying to find a good place to use the beds, but there really wasn't, mainly because I was up in the air technically. While I was there, I did collect glowstone, so honestly I have no idea why I collected it, I just collected it. Eventually I did go back to the overworld, trying to fix some stuff up, basically really just messed around. Something I did though is I made a bunch of shovels on the 74th day so I can make pathways, because I want this to look a lot nicer than what it already is, because I feel like I really haven't done enough to make the place look nice. I eventually got the pathways done, and I was originally going to show you guys, like, speed up the video and stuff, but I'm not joking when I say this. That was 17 minutes of me just breaking blocks and digging paths. Though I did start to build pathways around my base, like in the walls and stuff, because I thought it looked nice. The next day, I destroyed my entire farm. You're probably wondering why? That is because I decided to move my farm. I also put up a map of my area. Basically, I moved my farm onto the little hill and made like a terrace farm. I now have a lot more room to grow stuff. While in the middle of that, I also made like a little lava pool, like blacksmith little area. Really don't know what I would call it, but that's what I did. I also decided to add railings to my bridge. This bridge was the first thing I built on this world, and I'm just now upgrading it. It makes no sense why it took this long. I also started a cow farm for the first time. I'm just now realizing how bad at the game I am to be doing all this late into the game. The next day, I spent more time working on my farm. So the next day, I was out gathering more wood and stumbled across another ruined castle. Basically, almost the exact same thing as my places. I went down in the well and found not such good stuff. Though, while I was out getting wood, this happened. Yep, it was the third time I have died in this game. The next day, though, after I got all my stuff back, I decided to start making a boat dock. And not just like a little dock or anything, but like a storage house as well, because I thought it would look nice. I also decided to put some chests down in the enchantment area. I also added glowstone to the underground area because I thought it made it look a lot better and a little bit brighter. The next day I also added some more chests to the underground area because I was kind of running out of storage up top. I then went back to work on the little shack area. And with that, the boat dock is done. The next day, I decided to start making a pathway that led to the little boat dock. Before the night ended, I went on a little trip and finished up making a bigger map for my base. And I realized how small my area really is. So the next day, I decided to finish up the underground area to make it look better. I added some soul lanterns and generally just add some more shelves to it just to make it look better. I really couldn't think of anything else I could do to this underground area. Though I finally enchanted some armor, and it is embarrassing that it took this long to do it. And now I'm finally doing something that I said I was going to do a while ago, and that is make Dingle a doghouse. And I know I said that like on day 60, I think, but here I am making it on day 87. And just like that, Dingle now has a doghouse. And it came out not that bad, honestly. So the next day, I decided to go down into this ravine to go get some more iron and other resources because I was actually starting to run pretty low on them. And while I was on the way down into the ravine, I found a mine shaft. And not just a small little mine shaft, it was a big mine shaft. I was able to make it safely down there, but then I started getting attacked right off the bat. I was able to find a golden apple. And even though it was a very big mine shaft, I was really having a hard time finding stuff. Well, I found stuff, just not good stuff. I was able to mine diamonds, but I kept getting attacked from every angle. Eventually, I did decide to leave the mine because there was just nothing there. I then decided that I was going to make some streetlights to light up the pathways because a lot of mobs still spawn because there is just no light, which means I can't really go access stuff at night if there is a lot of mobs just spawning around me. On day 90, though, I got all the lanterns up, and with only 10 days left in this world, I don't really know much to do. Is what I would say if I didn't just do this the next day. Because I decided to build an archery range. Yes, that was literally what I planned to do. I don't even know why. It does no function, and I just did it. This is what the outcome looked like. It did not look bad, but I hate that it went on into the next day and I don't even know why. So I then decided to build a sheep and a chicken farm because I have a cow and I have a sheep farm, but I don't have a pig or a chicken farm. Pretty simple. I first started off with the pig farm because I figured that was going to be the easiest, and I spent a long time trying to find a pig. I would quickly make a chicken farm before the day ended, and I would then look for a chicken the next day. And honestly, finding a chicken was a lot easier than finding that motherfucking pig. So on day 95, I decided to get in my boat and go upstream in the river because there has been so many areas I still haven't discovered yet. And I'm on day 95. I only have 5 days until this challenge is done. And I need to explore more. On my journey, I would end up finding what looks like a ruined snow castle. So obviously, I gotta go check that thing out. As I'm about to enter it, I step right into powder snow, and then go falling straight through it and starting to fight zombies. I would then start to get swarmed by everything that was down there until eventually I did end up dying in the little dungeon area. And when I respawned, I grabbed my diamond armor and my skull and went straight back to get my stuff, because that was a lot of stuff I had collected over the time of this world. I made it all the way back, and this time I was careful not to fall into the powdered snow, and then I made my way back down. Eventually, I made my way back to my stuff. But even though I got all my stuff, I continued to go straight down because I want to see what's here. Because there has to be something important for all this stuff to be here. I learned that there was a whole hidden part underneath a bunch of powdered snow. But the problem is, I knocked a lot of mobs in that area. So it was kind of overflown with mobs. I had made my way down and was fighting off every single mob that I can, hoping that I would not die again. After clearing the whole place out, I was looking around in all the chests, but there was nothing. Nothing good, nothing important. I was so confused. I figured this would have like the best loot. But then I learned why this place is actually important. There was an entire enchantment room in there that was hidden behind a bookshelf wall. And that means that if you were to find this, clear out the place, you would get a free enchantment table. But after all that, I decided to leave, but then I got shot off my pillar, and then I had to fight for my life again. But I did eventually get out. On my way back home, though, I actually stopped by the cherry blossom forest that I found way earlier in this video, and decided that I was going to collect some saplings to plant around my base, because the area is kind of barren. When I got back, I started planting the saplings down, and this was the outcome that I got after placing them. On day 97, I decided that I was going to clear out my chests. I've had so much junk in it, and I just need to clear it out. On that exact same day, though, I decided to actually take Dingle with me to go visit the Spruce Village for one last time, considering that this is going to be probably one of the last times I see this village. I started walking around the village, just realizing how far I've come in this world, because you really don't realize how much work you've actually put into a world that is until you try to leave it. I even slept there for one last time. But before I left, I decided to leave with one last thing here. And that was, I decided to build a dock and a pathway connecting to the village. I even went to the Tower Village and did the exact same thing. Well, we're here. We are here on day 99. I already went ahead and retired my armor sets. I went to the nether real quickly to use my last bed that I had back when I was looking for netherite. I harvested the last bits of my crops. I even fed all my animals in the world for one last time. I even wrote on glue for a little bit because I was never going to see him again. I even walked on the bridge for one last time. I even visited the dock. I even used the bubble elevator one last time. I even took one last look at the first thing I built, the cobblestone generator. This thing was probably my favorite thing I made out of this whole world. And now I am heading up my tower to get one last good look at the sunset over my Minecraft world. There was always this popular Minecraft saying that I would always hear. One day, you will mine your last block. You would tame your last animal. You would load up your last world. And one day, you will log back on. And honestly, some days, I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to that. And that's why I'm glad I did this challenge. Because I love this game with all my heart. And seeing this world go, it's just sad to see. And now, I take one last look at my world. And now, there's just one last thing to do. Goodbye, Realism Craft. But hey, don't click off this video just yet. I just want to take a minute to thank you for making it this far into the video, or if you hit the timestamp in the beginning of the video. But either way, thank you for seeing this video. This video took me 7 days to film, and it's taken me over a month to edit. And oh my lord, has it been driving me crazy. I don't think I'll ever do another challenge this big again unless I get 2,000 subscribers. I'm currently at the race to get to 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Please help me do this. I'm a one-man team. I'm running this whole thing by myself. It would really mean a lot. But thank you, and hope to see you guys next time. Later.